Hey guys, this week we're going to do a video on how much do you need to have available to make a down payment, or how much money do you need to buy. So we're going to go over some really basic numbers here. I'm going to write some stuff up on the whiteboard, but this is a question that is very common. I get a lot. And how much capital, how much money, how much do you need to have in reserves in order to buy a home? Where do we start? Now, I recommend talking with a lender. A mortgage lender is going to really help you dive in. They're going to help you diagnose exactly what kind of funds you have available, what your credit score looks like, and how you can purchase a home and which loan package works best for you. But we're going to do a couple of comparisons today to give you a big picture overall view of what is available to help you get started and understand what you need, how much money you need in pocket, in the bank, in order to buy a home today in Colorado. So let's take a look at this. So one of the first things we want to look at is how much are homes right now. Right now, on average, homes are coming in around $500,000. Depending on where you're looking at in Colorado. Now, there's going to be some areas where it's going to be more, like Loveland or Fort Collins. We're pushing the 600s, 650s. If you go out to Greeley, you're going to find homes in the 400s. So it depends on where you're looking, but we're going to go with a good round, even number of $500,000 for a purchase price on a home. Now, conventional wisdom is going to tell you need to put 20% down on a mortgage. If you go talk to your uncle who bought a house back in 1982, that's what they tell you to do. You got to go buy the house with 20% down. You go talk to good old Uncle Dave, he's going to tell you 20% down on a home. So what is 20% of $500,000? Yes, that is $100,000. $100,000. So that's how much you need to put down for 20% interest. 20% interest on $500,000. So you need to save up $100,000, and that's just for the down payment. That isn't closing costs. That's not loan origination fees. That's not the cost of the appraisal. It's not the cost of the inspection. It's not even cost of getting a moving truck and getting you moved in. This is just the down payment at 20% off of $500,000. But with conventional poor packages today, you can go all the way down to 3%. And what is 3% of $500,000? $15,000. So over here we're going to do 3%, and that is $15,000. Instead of $100,000, we're now looking at $15,000 of a down payment. So we've already cut this massive number down to $15,000. Now, yes, that is going to change how much your monthly payment is. And again, that's why I recommend talking to a loan mortgage advisor so they can break down your payment and get you qualified based off of that. Because you can vary between 3 and 20% down. On my last house, I put about 18% down. So it just depends on where you're at here on that scale. Now, there is one more option out there, and that is an FHA loan. Here in Colorado, we have a program called CHFA, Colorado Housing Finance Authority, and they allow you to put as little as 3.5% down. Now, what is 3.5% of $500,000? The answer is $17,500. So we're going to do 17.5K. So we kind of see the difference here. You don't have to save up $100,000 to buy a $500,000 home. You can save up $15K for your down payment, or go with the FHA. So this is 3% down. These two are conventional. This is FHA / CHFA product. Now, why would you go with 3.5% instead of 3%? Great question. It's going to depend on what you need to do, and again, you're going to want to talk to a lender about this. But CHFA does do conventional products as well. This is a government-backed product. The one I'm going to highlight today is CHFA FHA one, where you can get up to 3% down payment assistance. and you only need 3.5. So you can qualify up to 3%. I believe it does cap at like $25,000, which I don't think you're going to exceed that cap here. In fact, I know you won't because it's 17.5 thousand here. So we know 3% of 500,000 is 15K. We're going to have a down payment assistance program, a DPA, down payment assistance, and that can go up to $15,000. So this can be a grant applied towards a down payment that was 17.5. So now you're actually down to $2.5 thousand for your down payment. $2.5 thousand down to buy a $500,000 home. So how much money do you need to purchase a home? This is what your down payment could look like if you qualify for a CHFA or FHA program. And you don't have to be a first-time home buyer to qualify for this either. You can already be a homeowner. You can be selling your home, downsizing, upsizing. If you want to keep that cash, maximize your financial ability, this is a product that can help you. It's really, really helpful to get people who aren't homeowners in their first home. I used this program when I bought my first house. My wife and I, we bought our house. We actually bought our house a month before we got married. And people thought we were crazy that I wanted to buy a home and not rent. I wasn't working in real estate back then. I worked a regular retail job, but I knew I wanted to own a house and not rent. And so we were shopping and shopping and shopping and looking for a home, and it was tough. I mean, so it's been a tough market for years. And we got our house. We got a nice little condo, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,000 square foot condo. And this was several years ago, so the home prices weren't up to this point. But we brought about $1,000 to close that time. $1,000 for down payment back then. Maybe it was like $1,200, somewhere right in that range. So it is doable. And because we did that almost a decade ago when we bought our first house, we were able to move up in home and live in a better place that we want to be. We're in a nicer part of town. We're in a different town completely, actually. We have a nicer yard, and we have a bigger house. Then I know that if we waited and we had rented for 6 years, instead of living in a tiny condo that it worked, was in our favorite place, but it was home, we're able to take that asset, and in 6 years, it increased $95,000 in value. We took that $95,000, we paid off student loans, and we were able to move into a bigger home with a much bigger down payment. So this does work. This isn't a permanent option because, yes, you're leveraging a lot, but you're also going to gain a lot of equity and to get yourself in the door, literally, of your new home so you can start building and moving up in home. So I just want to give this quick example here of the different loan packages, and there's other ones too. If you're VA, you can do 100% financing. You don't have to put anything down if you're doing a VA loan. VA loan does have some different loan origination fees, and I'm not covering loan origination fees. I'm not covering how much your monthly payment is in this video. I am just talking about how much you need to be able to budget for down payment. I will recommend that you're going to want to budget probably another 1.5% to 2% to cover closing costs, loan origination fees, and to move in. If you want to be safe, go up to 2%. So what is 2% of 500,000? It's going to be 10,000. So yes, that might be the more expensive part of it, is the loan origination costs and the different closing costs and moving costs, because I just said 2%. And you realize 2% is quite a bit more than that. You're looking at probably another, like I said, $10,000 for your closing costs, for your loan origination fees, and such. So if you can budget $12.5 thousand to 15, 16, 17,000. Let's say 17,000 on the high end. That's more your number you want to look at. So we're going to make a goal. If you want to buy a home around $500,000 here in Colorado, you want to try to get, let's just say on average, on average, 15,000 saved up. You're like, man, 15,000, I'm close. I got 8 grand. I got 10 grand. Another great option that is available is if family wants to make a gift to you for a down payment. We always hear the stories of, oh, dad gifted me my down payment. That's very doable. As long as we can verify where the funds are coming from, the loan officer, the lender is going to want to see, hey, where's this money coming from that you just randomly showed up with 10 grand more money. A gift from family, if they want to help you get started and start down this dream of home ownership, they can gift you that money for your down payment on top of the down payment assistance you're already getting. So that's another thing to consider. Again, I said a VA, 100% financing, no money down, and also USDA loans can be up to 100% financing, no money down. That's another product I recommend talking to a lender about. And you hear USDA and you think, oh man, I got to live way out in the boonies in the middle of nowhere to get that. No, you don't. We have a USDA map. I can show you. One of the amazing areas just here in northern Colorado is Berthoud. Pretty much the entire town of Berthoud and its suburb area is USDA qualified. So you can buy new construction in USDA. You can go and look at very, very new homes that are close to downtown Berthoud. They're in the suburbs of Berthoud. They're really close to Loveland, close to Longmont. You're 20 minutes away from Boulder. You're 30 minutes away from Fort Collins. You're right close to I-25 to get down to Denver. Right there, Berthoud. It's a great town, and you can get a USDA loan there. At least currently, they do make adjustments and change the maps. But right now, Berthoud does qualify for a USDA loan, and that is 100% financing, zero money down. So that is other things to be aware of and take a look at. So if you're wondering how much money do I need to buy a $500,000 house, again, it could be different if you have really high debt to income, you have a lot of credit card debt, auto loans, student loans. Those are different factors to be aware of. But rule of thumb is I would say you want to have about $15,000, and if you can get up to $17,000 or $18,000 to give yourself some wiggle room, that would be what you could use if you want to do an FHA CHFA loan with down payment assistance to buy your first home and get started. And again, I'm starting off with a $500,000 home. This is about the average right now in Larimer County. We can go up to, I think it's like 560, 580, somewhere there's the actual average. So I went below the average, but if you want to get a starter condo or townhome or a really small house, there are homes down in the high 300s on a home. So we're saying to save about 3% of the cost of the home. What is 3% of 300,000 or 380,000? It's 11,400. So, obviously, if you wanted to go to a lower price point, just the very, very entry-level homes in Larimer County of a house that's, say, in the 380s, a condo, townhome style home, maybe it's a really tiny bungalow, needs some updates, it's outdated, but you're getting in the door, you're getting started. For something like that, you're looking more at like $11,500 to get into a house like this. And again, I can't preface this enough. Again, it depends on your credit score, depends on your debt to income ratio, and how much you qualify for a monthly payment. But I did want to give, this is what you should be aiming for budget-wise of capital or what you need to have on hand, or if you're able to get a gift from a relative to budget for to get started on your home ownership journey. Well, I really hope this was helpful for you to help you get an idea of what you need to do and the steps you can take to save up and purchase your home. If you want to see more videos like this and learn about more of living in northern Colorado, please subscribe and follow on my channel, Corey Frith Realtor, and leave me a comment, message if you have questions about who you can connect to and talk to for a lender that it can help break down and show you what kind of numbers you would qualify for, especially if you already have, somewhere in this range of money saved up. You're ready to get pre-qualified and start moving forward to maybe buy a house. So don't put it off any longer. Don't wait for interest rates to keep going up and home prices continue to rise. It just gets more and more expensive. So if you can do this sooner, you can start building your equity quicker, and it would really be beneficial for you and your future to do that. So again, I'm Corey Frith with eXp Realty. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you on the next one.